Hey everyone, disclaimer before the episode. It was revealed after recording by Jason Schreier from Bloomberg that Hellena Taylor was actually offered $15K for the role in Bayonetta 3, and wanted a six-figure sum, i.e. at least $100K. While this episode is predicated on the story that she was only offered $4K for the entire role, the actual topic is about how voice actors, more times than none, are underpaid. We will talk more in depth about what came to light in the next episode. Now enjoy the show.
All right, Leek, you know how you've been doing the art for our podcast, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Since you've been doing it such a long time, I'm gonna pay you $40 instead of 80.
Okay.
And
I'm launching a boycott against Perpetual Backlog. Boycott this podcast.
Welcome everybody to Perpetual Backlog, episode 102. I'm your host,
Hey.
Aqua, and like always, joining me is Dalit, who actually has a lot of stuff to say this week.
Hey, I'm kind of knowledgeable about this match.
Hey. And as like I said just before, our artist Leak.
Hello. Our meeting.
So I'll get this out of the way. Yeah, I played Kuro no Kiseki 2 this week.
Really? You never.
I know, right? I'm like 20 hours in this game. This game could be a little tough. Oh yeah, Aqua. Obviously, you don't know how to read Japanese, so how do you know what the fuck? How do you know what the fuck?
You
to
did
do?
beat me to my point. You were correct. That's what I was thinking.
There are some yeah. I mean, like, I know how to play the game because I've played and beaten Kuro 1. But there are just some fights in this game that kind of feel a little unfair, and surprisingly enough, it's none of the boss battles. It's usually the fights before the boss battles. Because they're like, here, we'll throw a bunch of enemies at you, and sometimes these enemies will death you and multiples of your teammates. And I went into one boss battle of a chapter with three of my members at 1 HP because they all died in the previous fight. But it's okay because the fight after that was actually kind of a joke.
Imagine.
Yeah, the boss was a joke. And I'm assuming that it's gonna get harder later on down the line. I need to make sure I get accessories that just cover all of the really annoying status effects like fear and death blow, because I can deal with frozen and paralysis, and yeah, I think that's the only other two that are like actually super annoying. Game's good. After learning that East 10 was supposed to come out this year, instead of Kuro no Kiseki 2, it makes sense why apparently this game feels kind of like a filler game and not like something that continued the Kuro arc, because Kuro 1 kind of ended pretty succinctly, and apparently Kuro 2 also ends pretty succinctly. I've just come up with this new theory, all right, because Kondo said we are 70% through with the story, and there's two to three regions left. But they're all smaller regions, so they're not going to take as long as like fucking Cold Steel or Kuro did, because the regions are not Calvert and fucking Erebonia. I guess they're more like Liberl. So I'll assume that there are each going to be 2 games and at least in between one or two of them, there will be a stringer title, like Hajimari and Sky the Third. All right, and we will. It's gonna be the search for Master Yunkafai, and
He's got to appear. He has to appear at this point.
and it's going to be, it's gonna have all of the 8 leaves, 1 blade players in it, or like characters in it. All right,
Let's go. We're literally running out of real estate. He has to be here somewhere. We need the reunion of literally all of the school.
I want that to happen. I hope a stringer title is that, kind of like a Hajimari thing, where like if the perfect time to do it is after Kuro 3, all right, for there to be a stringer title where it just brings in Reen, brings in Arios, brings in Cassius, brings in Anlace, brings in Richard, brings in Shizuna. They're all together, and they're all and I guess fucking Vaughn and the other people in Kuro, since the Kuro just happened, can be in it as well, and we all go to the fucking desert-fied east of Calvard, and we're searching for fucking Master Yunkafai, because that's where he's at, researching like all that desertification that's going on out there. And then that's the video game that I want Kondo to make. But that's all I did this week. I mean, I watched anime, but I'm not going to talk. We're not an anime podcast yet.
Yes.
So.
But yeah, it is very important, isn't it? My week is pretty easy. I only played one game this whole week. I 5-stacked in Overwatch with Dean Crew, and I didn't have time to do like other games, so I just did that a bunch. No, it's actually been super enjoyable in a group. Absolutely miserable solo, but super enjoyable in a group.
Yeah, only real way to play Overwatch for me anyway. If I could, that's the only time I ever did.
Yep, I'm not going to be playing that game solo for any reason. Thanks.
Not going to be playing that game at all.
I feel really bad for Overwatch because, or at least the devs that work specifically on Overwatch, because that game is polished and fine as a game, but has so much baggage with it being an currently unnecessary sequel, and also all of Blizzard.
But it's also not even a sequel.
No.
Yeah, it will be in a couple of months, but at the moment it is just the same game, because people keep saying it's Overwatch 2 because it has 2 new maps, but they've like removed 4, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's literally all I managed to get done. Because other than that, I was working or watching anime at the behest of someone who shall remain nameless.
I'm like that frog meme where I'm just like, or that toad.
Your goodness. I should be finishing Valkyrie Elysium. I'm most of the way through. I will finish.
You know what you should be
eventually.
Finishing, right? Cold Steel 4.
Yeah, but there's no rush on that.
There is always a rush on it, man.
There's no rush on that. I've watched it play through once. I'll be fine.
True.
This playthrough is for me. It's not for the story. I've already experienced that.
Okay.
Well, I've been playing early access Marauders.
I've been seeing this. What is Marauders?
It's so fun. So just imagine Tarkov, but not the ridiculous. You need to spend money. It's just in-game stuff, right? But it's in space.
Oh no, it's for you.
In space.
And you're like, Marauders. You're
a pirate.
You're a space pirate. Yeah.
If they had robots, they'll have just made this game for you.
Oh my god, I wish. Yeah, but yeah, so it's very similar to the playtest Dark and Darker, a game I was talking about a few weeks ago. You go in as a team or solo. This time you could be a team of 4. But much like Tarkov, if you die, you lose all your shit. So the aim is obviously to grab what you can, survive, dash out. really. So you can go into space stations. There are various types. There's like a mining asteroid mine. There's a penal colony. There's a space navy base, that kind of thing, right?
I'm still hung up on the objective is really as simple as go in, mug them, and leg it.
Yeah. You build up and build up and build up your supplies and your armor and your weapons. Now, you can also fly around a space area outside. So it's not like extensive space. There's nowhere near like
Sure.
frickin' No Man's Sky and stuff like that. It's very limited, but you can dogfight with other spaceships. You can actually board other people's spaceships and steal them.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now. Oh, okay. So this is probably going to be like a space version of what is the pirate game that is owned by Microsoft?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
That's the one.
Yeah. You can steal their ship and keep it. So yeah, you just have to leave the area safely. Oh my god, it's fun. And it's scary, especially when you're solo.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. The AI is really, really dumb though. They do really crazy stuff. They like run up to you and you're terrified because they might shoot you in the face. But they just run up to you right into your camera and run away, and then shoot you.
All right, a bit of work to be done.
It's really weird. But the players, oh my god, yeah. If you are solo against a team of one or two or more, you're dead. You're just dead. You're fucking dead. Oh my god, run away.
Dead. DED.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. And you know me, I'm like a bloody squirrel. I love hoarding stuff. I love finding shiny things. So this is a pretty good game for me.
Just so.
Other than that, I've been playing Gundam Evolution. I very much like doing the dailies and stuff. I've actually finally tried ranking, but on the Japanese server, because it's less full of ragey people that demand you get on voice chat right now.
Americans, why are we this way?
Holy heck! No,
Why is it just?
Hey, leaker. Okay.
What?
Okay.
What?
All right. Americans have to tell you that they fucked your mother. All right. They have to tell you that. They literally have to tell you that.
This is the case with 14 as well, where things are just more chill and refined on the JP centers.
Yeah, so yeah, don't need to talk on the Japanese ranking. You just play, you just do your job, and everyone's happy.
I'm well pleased that you found a way that is,
So I can do ranking now.
Yes, I hope you enjoy your time there, because that's probably going to be better matchmaking than casuals at this point.
Yeah, better
also
XP
better
as well.
ping. Better ping.
XP as well.
Yeah, for me, yes, better ping. Stardew Valley as usual. My friend got me to play a bit more Overwatch. I mean, I only ever play it with them.
Yeah,
it's the 2 times I've played it, and otherwise I don't bother touching it. Otherwise,
sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel a bit about it, honestly. It's fun when playing with the friends, but that's it for me. That's because I'm just socializing with my friends. Really, that's all.
That's every game.
Now that you've said that about Gundam, though, maybe I move over to the JP side of things. Play with a bit more ping, but get actual stuff done.
Yeah. They're very like literally everyone just does their job and gets stuff done.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
It's good.
Yes.
What else? Yeah, I also watched anime. It's game related. It's Log Horizon. I've actually been enjoying it a lot.
Oh man.
So I
liked Log Horizon. Where are you at?
I just started this.
Good question.
I just started the 2nd season.
Okay.
I just started it. So they're doing raids and stuff, and there's a murderer running around.
Did I finish the 2nd season? I didn't finish the anime.
We do have
it got very boring for me later on, but
oh, did it?
Yeah.
When we have the anime podcast, I'm so screwed.
No, you're not, because I'll just make you watch anime.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
No. See, this is how it'll go. All right, it'll just be like how I'm doing it this this season and like how I did it the other season or whatever. There'll be an
no, it
anime
just
you
feels
want. There'll
like-
be an anime you want to watch. All right, and I will
That's
watch it
always
with you.
true.
And I will watch it with you. All right, and then I'll just be like, all right, time to watch Bocchi the Rock now.
Yeah.
So underhanded. Is this gaslighting? I feel like this is kind of gaslighting.
No, it's not gaslighting. It's no, because like gaslighting would be me telling you something that isn't true, and
This is
making you
fair.
believe it. Whatever.
I'm being deceived somehow, though. I don't enjoy this.
Manipulate is the word you want.
I'm
There
manipulating.
you go.
Yeah.
He's being manipulative.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be admitting to that so
But
easily.
yeah, that's the word.
But it's okay.
Anyway.
It's good for your soul.
It's good
Is
for your
it?
soul.
The anime is.
Wow. Yeah, the anime. God,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
alright.
so glad you clarified.
The manipulation is good for your soul. All right, I guess.
That's gaslighting.
Can you tell me the first?
Yeah, there you go.
Can you tell me the first 2 episodes of Bocchi the Rock haven't been enjoyable?
They've been fine. It's not something I would watch on my own, though.
Exactly.
Well,
Everything's
yeah.
better with friends.
I mean, unfortunately, that's true. Literally everything. Getting shot is better with someone else.
Like, have you been watching Chainsaw Man?
No.
Probably watch Chainsaw Man.
Eventually. It's not the
I-
ones it's on my radar at the moment.
Even if you don't watch Chainsaw Man, I do, however, recommend you pop onto the old YupTubs and watch the intro, and then watch the intro with all of its
Movie references.
references. Yeah,
Okay.
because that's very cheeky. It's very well done.
Well, also another thing you can watch on YouTube is I don't know about Japan YouTube, but so you don't actually have to have a subscription to anything to watch Witch of Mercury. It's all on YouTube.
Oh yeah, so it is.
Sweet.
That's not how I've been watching it, but that is entirely true.
Yeah. So you have a free Gundam to watch.
Free Gundam.
Yeah. Is that it, Leak?
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
We got info coming in from not info. We got a question coming in from Little.
He lives. Oh man.
Yeah, he lives. Yeah, he goes, man, it's been a crazy week. Hope all is well with the gang. I got COVID at the same time my Kuro 2 CE came in.
Ooh, what a
So yay
what a
for extra
shame.
video game time.
Oh, did he? Did you actually? Okay, well, never mind. Smartass comments aside. Hope you're feeling better.
Oh,
Happy
yeah,
you had.
he's
happy
been
you had
messaging me the
Kuro.
entire time. He's been messaging me the entire time he's alive.
Okay.
And he goes, man, what a ride has it been? They shot character Dalit and I love. How could they shoot character that Dalit and I love? I blame Dalit. I'm not going to say the character's name. I'm not going to say the character's name.
No, obviously, I won't either. I know they shot. I was fucking devastated when this asshat just randomly messages that to me with no context. Anyhow, I'm happy you're enjoying the game. May all the good things happen to make up for all of this like emotional abuse we're having to deal with.
So much emotion. Well, I mean, I haven't ran into. Well, actually, let me be real here. Okay, Kuro 2. I've seen so many characters die in this game. I've seen so many characters die in this game. It all doesn't happen, but I've seen them all die.
Okay.
It's been nice. Before we get in our main content of news, I think Konami tweeted out that there's going to be a Silent Hills transmission on the 19th of October. A Silent Hill transmission. They're going to talk about whatever future Silent Hill game that they're working on. So that'll be interesting. It's real, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that is like it's going to be interesting. I'm just very interested to know what is actually being revealed therein. But we'll find out soon.
I will say this because I forgot. Well, I forgot to mention it. It was revealed as to the reason behind Kazuki Takahashi's death. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh. He apparently he. So for people that don't know, his body was found back in June or July. He was reportedly drowned. He had reportedly drowned.
Yeah.
Finally came out that
He's a goddamn hero.
Yeah.
he drowned trying to save two people that were being caught up under what is it, like riptides?
Riptide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He and one other person jumped in after them to save them because they were strong swimmers. But
Yeah.
riptides are vicious, man. They're they're super dangerous. Apparently, the people he jumped in after were saved, and I believe it was a navyman who jumped in with him also returned. But when the dust settled, he was nowhere to be found, and wow, it was pretty easy to imagine what happened, and that's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's a goddamn hero.
Goddamn hero.
And was there a year after its revival, G4 TV is shutting down.
Yeah, I am not happy to see this happen. However, I do find this situation to be entirely foreseeable, and I don't think this is shocking news.
Yeah. But it was to the people that worked for G4 TV because
Goodness.
A lot of them found out because of Wario64's tweet.
Yeah, imagine having all these plans and finding out that you have essentially been let go, effective immediately, from a tweet from a person that's not even with the company.
Yep.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
It's shitty in this I was very surprised when G4 TV first came back and they were still like part of cable.
Same. Same.
Especially I mean, they came out last year. It's 2021. This is like the height of Twitch meta, of Twitch streaming or whatever. The height of streaming platforms in general. Why go for something that specifically people like us that maybe watched like Attack of the Show and all that stuff back when it was airing, how we've quite considerably moved away from cable.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. I definitely, at least I think I understand why they didn't go to Twitch. I think that puts a lot of money and responsibility on G4 as a group, and they clearly wanted some backing. But to your point, I don't think going to Comcast and having a channel was the move. I would have gone to a streaming service, one of the more common ones that everyone would have, or at least most people would have. I personally have said a couple times that I genuinely think going to Netflix probably would have been the move. And just having, getting your own little hashtag, being super easy to find, uploading, was it G4 Attack of the Show? I don't even know what else G4 was doing, other than X-Play and Attack of the Show.
Yeah. I don't know what they were doing this past year, but that's what everybody watched G4 for, was mainly X-Play and Attack of the Show.
Well, by the end of it, you were either watching those two, or for whatever reason, you were watching it because you wanted to watch reruns of Cops. But yeah, I don't think you needed a channel for this. I think having this on demand would have been better. Definitely a streaming setup. But hey, maybe they thought about it. Maybe it wasn't actually as good an idea as I think it was. I'm sure they had their reasons, and it's sad that a bunch of people who thought they were employed are no longer. I hope they find work real soon.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to say. So Dalit, you can now go on your tirade of how voice actors need to be paid more.
Okay, so preface. I really enjoy voiceover as a hobby. I've done a couple of things professionally, nothing of note, just a couple of things I've been paid for, ergo I'm a professional voice actor, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see stories like what happened this weekend with Hellena Taylor and Platinum Studios, where a lot of people's first reaction is anger and righteous indignation, mine is a big old sigh going, yeah, that about sounds right.
Mm.
So, to those who don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't at this point, Helena Taylor, the voice actress for Bayonetta in Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 and Smash,
And the movie.
broke, and the television show, or was it OVA? Whatever, and the animation, broke her NDA for Bayonetta 3 and revealed that she was not reprising her role, not because of time constraints or anything we had assumed, but because she felt that Platinum had lowballed her. She was offered a paltry sum to return as the lead for this, and when she went straight to Hideki Kamiya, one of the co-founders of Platinum, to make her case, he agreed and then decided that a fair price for her labor was $4,000. So, she didn't do it. She would later be replaced by Jennifer Hale, voice of Fem Shep, voice of... God, it's all I can think of at the moment.
Yeah, FemShep is the only thing I know her of.
But this is not to say she's like, look, I don't know why I'm explaining this. Jennifer Hale has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
She has stepped in to replace it, and she's caught some guff for it. We'll get there in a moment. Let's start off with the obvious stuff. Hellena Taylor put out 3 videos as her manifesto, essentially, why she was speaking out, breaking NDA, and what she felt she was standing up for.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's a very talented actress who has done more than just voiceover. She's a theatrical actress, and she is a member of the Screen Actors Guild. Remember that. That will be important. So after 2 outings on a very successful series, she felt that either she wasn't being paid her worth, or that this time in particular they were trying to skate by with less. And she brought it to everyone's attention on Twitter and has requested that there be a boycott on Bayonetta 3. This has led to all kinds of weird, negative, just kind of strange talking points happening on Twitter. The most bizarre being that Hideki Kamiya went into full defensive mode and has gone on a blocking spree. It should be noted, and I don't know if you three, I'm one of them, you two caught this, but he did have something to say on the matter. It just wasn't very good.
No.
No, he just said he said here I got the tweet right here. He tweets too much. Sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can tell now. By the way, beware of my rules.
Okay, well, that second bit is whatever.
Yeah.
So, on one hand, we have Hellena saying she was shorted. On the other hand, we have Kamiya saying that's fundamentally not true, but he refuses to elaborate, and thereafter goes on an absolute binge of blocking anyone talking about the situation.
Yeah.
Then he gets his Twitter. He gets his Twitter restricted after
Yeah.
that.
I think he was briefly suspended because he
Yeah.
does have his Twitter up. I have seen it.
Then he
since.
deactivated his Twitter for like
Mhm.
12 to 24 hours, and then brought it back,
Okay.
and then brought it back up. His Twitter's back up now.
Okay.
To my knowledge, the company Platinum has said nothing on the matter yet.
Mhm.
So, unfortunately, Twitter being the bastion of patience that it is, there have been fighting words thrown every which way. Some siding with, well, most siding with Hellena, some siding with Kamiya, and the truth probably being somewhere in the middle.
Mhm.
All right, now that was all to say this. Hellena Taylor has put herself in a really weird position because I do not believe her to be in the wrong for saying that she deserves more. And I do not believe her to be in the wrong to say that voice actors in general deserve to be treated better than they do. Because if
They
you are unaware of the situation with voiceover, especially in America, I can't speak to the EU and I can't speak to JP.
Mhm.
We treat our voice actors, very specifically voice actors, very poorly. They, by and large, have to be working on 4 or 5 different things at a time in order to be in a position to live well.
Yeah.
Depending on what you work in, that may not always be the case. Sure, if you work at Disney, maybe you're a bit better off than if you work at Funimation. And by a bit, I mean quite substantially.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the people, when they hear voice actors, do go very first to anime and anime adjacent games. So, oh boy, Twitter's been kind of a highlight. We've seen a lot of voice actors put their 2 cents in. And that's not to demean what they're saying. They're all very correct. We've had voice actors like Sean Chiplock chime in and mention that despite being incredibly well known for his role as Rivali, yes, Rivali in Breath of the Wild, it also didn't pay terribly well. And his 2 off-screen sentences from the Pikachu, the Detective Pikachu movie, ended up way overgrossing compared to that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
But we've also had other actors come in from, like, actors who would appear on Hollywood, either television or film. And they've come in seeing the 4,000 mark set by Helena and said, yeah, no, that's ridiculous. And none of them have said how much they made. But when asked, well, do you get a better rate? The answers are all the same. Yes, a lot better. So, I mean, this is a bit of a rant on my part, but yeah, we don't treat voice actors as well as we treat actors.
Mhm.
And there's
Physical
a,
actors.
exactly, there's a separation there that need not be, especially since voice actors end up doing so much that everyday people see and hear. It's more than just cartoon characters. You hear them every day in your adverts. You hear them every day on the various voices inside buildings as you walk around and they give guided tours. Like,
Hear them in airplanes.
you hear them in airplanes. Oh my goodness.
Transport.
If you hear a voice come out of a box, someone had to sit there and record it.
Air voices all day at work.
Just so.
Mhm.
So, I'm sure you're all aware of, I believe it was 2017, there was a voice actor strike to relieve some of this, to have some money injected into this side of things and just to overall have the talent treated better. One of the things that came out of that was that actors would not have to do 4 to 6 hours of screaming like bloody madmen. Any voice intensive sessions would be limited to 2 hours because, you don't want your talent coughing up blood.
True.
You do want them to be able to come back the next day and continue working their art. What this incident is doing, I think, is hoping to set up for another sit down at the table where once again we look at whether or not voice actors are being treated well enough to continue doing this as a profession. Because the struggle is real. Now, that said, I personally do have a couple of issues with Taylor's videos.
Yep.
As I mentioned earlier, she was replaced by Jennifer Hale for Bayonetta 3, and I think this is the most pressing thing to get out there. Hale would have had no idea as to why she was suddenly allowed to audition for the lead role.
Yeah.
She would have seen that her agent would have brought to her the job. She would have seen it, and she probably would have thought, "Oh, that's weird. I guess they couldn't have gotten the last girl. That's very strange."
Yeah.
And even if she did ask, they would have said exactly what they said to us. Due to circumstances beyond our control, she could not come back to fulfill the role. We're asking you to do a voice match.
Yeah.
That's it. That is probably more than she knew.
Yeah, and she certainly would not have known the offer given to the previous voice actress.
Yeah.
Absolutely
in
not.
in any contract, you usually is the case is you're not allowed to discuss your wages with anyone else. Blah blah blah. Right? It's quite common.
Oh, that is absolutely the standard in America as well.
Yeah.
It's just not done, which is weird to me. But yeah, it's just people have issues talking about money. And of course, a company isn't going to tell you what they're paying someone else. God forbid you ask for that. So, Hale got a lot of guff. And I can't say understandably so. I have no idea why anyone thought she had tried to usurp Hellena of her position. I suppose maybe there's a bit to do with one of the passages in like the second or third video where Hellena gets very defensive about being Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Which is true, to be fair. She is the person I'm going to think of first. It's like, I don't think of Kiefer Sutherland as Snake. It will always be David Hayter.
David Hayter, yeah.
Just so. Jennifer Hale was Naomi Hunter. There you go. But in doing that...
She was Rivet, and I was looking at her list. She was Rivet.
There we go.
Ratchet and Clank. So.
Long-established voice actress.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe by having that momentary defensive outburst, she might have done more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people did go after Jennifer Hale, and Hale was playing defense to the best of her ability, liking tweets that more or less said, hey, she's under NDA. She can't say anything. She very likely didn't know.
Yeah.
All of which is true, to the point it got so bad that she did say something. Now, Hale did not break her NDA.
Nope.
She was very vague in all of her language.
And very professional.
Very professional. But suffice it to say, she says that it was not her intention to usurp the role. She was stepping in as a professional, and had she known, maybe she wouldn't have. But she didn't.
Yep.
She was literally doing her job.
So, Platinum Games, this is how you make a statement. Kayama, this is how you make a statement.
Hell, for being literally in the middle of this, has handled it more professionally than anyone.
Kamiya doesn't abide by.
I know.
So here's the thing: I don't care about what Kamiya does. We all know his personality. I don't know why anyone was expecting anything better. Yeah. I am, however, expecting the company as a whole to say something, anything.
Doesn't look like they are.
And it doesn't look like they will. It looks like they really are hoping that Kamiya plays defense on this, and they just are able to deflect everything onto him because, long story short,
he doesn't care.
He's untouchable. He's untouchable.
Yeah.
They're not going to fire him, and he can shoulder this wave of people because he's got a big old block button. They still need to say something. Now, on the topic of Platinum, they may not be legally as in the wrong as everyone thinks. I'm going to be a bad guy.
I
So,
don't think they were legally in the wrong to begin with, but
well, we don't know. Prefacing all this, we don't know. We have no idea until Hellena comes out and further breaks her NDA and puts things in perspective, and Platinum comes out and also puts things in perspective. We have no idea. This is a guess using information that anyone can get their hands on. So, we know that Taylor is a member of the Screen Actors Guild. Whilst we don't know if Bayonetta 3 is a union job, I am suspecting it is because of who's attached to it and the fact that they are using their actual names. Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now. Caitlin Glass, Yuri Lowenthal, Hellena Taylor, all in the game, all credited as themselves. If you're a member of a guild, you're not disallowed from doing non-union work, but it's frowned upon. Because if anything happens, like this, the guild can't do anything about it. However, if this is a guild job, now we get to do some napkin math. So, SAG-AFTRA makes everything available to you. They have their contracts, they have memorandums, they have updates, and they have their rates available. Looking at the rates for interactive media, that's where games would fall under, we can find out that there's one of two rates that Taylor would have been being paid. Either she was a day performer doing 3 voices for 4 hours a day for about $1,000, or she was a day performer doing 1 voice a day, and she was getting paid hourly. And that would have been about $500. And every additional voice is another $300 on top of that. So let's assume she's doing with the very standard. She's voicing Bayonetta and a couple of NPCs in the background. That's 3 voices, 4-hour day, 1K, the standard.
Yeah.
She would have done 3 sessions. She didn't do this. We know this because she denied the role before recording anything. But she would have done 3 sessions to get to 4,000. Now, I know I just said that every session is $1,000, but there's also bonuses on top of doing multiple days worth of work. So you get 75, then 200, then 300. So she did about 3.5. She would have been doing about 3.5 days of work for 4K. I have never done voiceover for a video game. At least not like this.
Yeah.
So to me, that seems 12 hours seems a bit iffy for a full-length game. It does, and I know Bayonetta is not the most taxing. Like, this isn't a Kojima title, but 12 hours for everything feels iffy. Moreover, you'd always have to come back in and do, well, not reshoots, but you'd have to do punch-ins, and you'd have to maybe re-record a couple of lines here and there. So just 4,000 up front as like the de facto price feels weird for a SAG rate. However, that said, someone in the industry did mention that 3 to 4 days could be accurate. And if that's the case, legally speaking, the numbers coincide with that. I don't know what the initial price was that she rejected and had bumped up to 4K. But 4K sounds about right if, in fact, they were going to do 3, maybe 4 sessions. Now, the problem with that is that would mean Taylor broke NDA and is complaining about being paid the fair wage from the union.
Yeah.
And Double, unfortunately, she more or less says this. At the end of the first video, she does mention that what they are doing is legal. It's just immoral.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that. If this is the case, and she was paid fairly under the SAG contract of 4K for three and a half, maybe 4 sessions, I mean, yeah, like that's not a fair wage in regards to like a livable wage.
Yeah, that's
But
like
that
2 months rent, right?
exactly, that's like that you're not going to be able to do anything with that if you live in California, because God, living in California is pain.
That's like a month's rent.
But she would have been fairly compensated as per the contract.
So I feel like when she said what they did was legal, as in it was in their legal right to choose what it is for her to lowball her. Not I don't think it was like I don't think she meant it was legal because it was like the actual like
Sure.
SAG rate that they were going for. I think
Sure,
she was
absolutely.
saying that it's legal that they're able to pick that price and not go any higher.
Yeah, my story is a big if.
Yeah.
It's a big if, and that's the if is entirely around, is this a union job?
And
'Cause if it's not
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be, right?
That's what I keep saying, right? Like with the names attached to it, they know better. But also with the names attached to it, you're not going to mess with them. They've been in this industry for like 20 years. So I don't know. But the problem with my theory is if I'm right, she's fucked. Because what's going to end up happening is she broke her NDA for nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, though
Like,
she
'cause
said
if
she
if
doesn't
she
care about the NDA being broke.
which is fine. It just means she's willing to deal with the lawsuit that comes thereafter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does also mean that when anyone ever writes about this, they're going to say she was wrong,
Yeah.
because it doesn't take into account the second part. What they did might be legal, but it's immoral. And that's true. And now we get off of Platinum. We'll go back and I'll absolutely let you all tear into them. I'll tear into them too. But now we have to look at SAG. Because thinking about it, looking at these rates, no wonder voice actors struggle so damn much. I've only ever done non-union work. I've never got paid an amount of money that would like make a real difference to me. I've had enough to pay a bill or two here and there, and that's it. So I never had any expectations, because I just didn't do enough. To pay dues to a company to look after your well-being and to make sure you are fairly compensated, and for the goal to be $1,000 for a session is rough. And it sounds like a big number. It's a big 4-digit number. Sounds huge. That's going to go nowhere real fast. And it means that voice actors do indeed have to have like 6 jobs at once.
Yeah.
And they have to all be at each other's throats, trying to fiercely get into whatever they can that doesn't just pay this rate, but pays for, like big Disney dollars, essentially.
Yeah, you kind of wonder why. Oh yeah, that's probably why the Critical Role folks made their own fucking company. They
Exactly.
I was gonna say
Exactly.
job security.
that's why a lot of voice actors nowadays are actually getting into stuff like content.
Yeah,
You
really,
have
truly.
Joe's doing a lot of content creating.
Yeah,
Erica
yeah.
Lindbeck's done a lot of content
Yeah.
creating. Erica Harlacker does a lot of content creating.
Yeah.
So
One
It's
of the
absolutely
previous
what you
voice
said.
actresses for Jessie from Pokemon, she also is into YouTube
She's
and
streaming
Twitch.
now, yeah.
Yeah. It's very
So-
common now.
So, I mean, what Taylor's Cry will do, I hope, is turn people to the inevitable conversation around what a voice actor is worth, and is the union actually doing the most they can do to help them. I will grant you that the union has stepped in and has made it a more healthy profession. but I do not know that they've done everything they can to make their actors feel as well covered as they do for on-screen actors. Same union, just different branch.
Yeah. I don't think they
And
do because we hear about this all the time.
yes, and this if Her Cry has done nothing else, it's brought out a lot of voices from the industry to point out that this is not a special case. This is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
If she was being paid more before, that's the outlier. And I suspect she wasn't. I suspect she was probably paid about this much for the first game, which was absolutely when Platinum was not as big as it is now, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a gamble. And the second game was just as much of a gamble because the company had just moved and just been overtaken by Nintendo.
Yeah.
But now that they've had two major hits and it's a very successful series, and Platinum itself, despite being in a real bad way, no doubt at the moment, is still covered by Nintendo. I do get her feeling she was lowballed. And as people have pointed out, and this is another thing that can't be confirmed yet, it's very unlikely that Jennifer Hale is not being paid much more than that.
No, she's probably not. She's probably getting paid the same amount.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, the situation is less Taylor versus Platinum. For me, the situation is voice actors and their union.
Yeah.
Um, but that's my biases, and I just happen to know all this going in. It's why I just haven't attacked that as a job. I just haven't felt safe about it. I live in the wrong. I live in the right state, but I also it's dangerous to put all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And he moved on to a like pretty much a more like safe and consistent.
oh yeah, I live
field.
in the land of Skywalker Films and Pixar and all these small startups that want to do sound. So like being an engineer, I'm set. Well, I'm not set, but I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
And my options are still open. If I shake the right hands and I can throw a demo at Pixar or at Skywalker or at Disney or whatever, then sure, I will. But I don't I genuinely salute people like Sean Chiplock and Kimlin Tran and Amberly Connors and Stephen Kelly who managed to get through the anime aspect of it because it really does come from a place of love. Because
Well, a lot of
it
people.
doesn't come from a place of
Yeah,
financial stability.
because Sean Chiplock said that actually the other day when he was talking about it. He doesn't get too caught up on the actual price of what he's being paid. Obviously, he states his price or whatever, and if he gets it, he gets it. If he doesn't, he probably doesn't do the job. Um, but he says half the reason why he does voice acting because it's his passion to do voice acting.
Look, it's real fun. We like I think it's safe to say everyone in this call has grown up. We watched anime, we watched cartoons, like we have characters we fell in love with, whom we hold super dear, and like these are characters that make an impact. So like you can be like emotionally endearing and like super important in that regard and get paid peanuts. So you have to absolutely have the heart for it.
Hey
And
man, if you're Anya, you get paid in peanuts.
That's my tirade on this. If you want to speak more specifically about the current goings on with Platinum and Taylor, by all means. I just felt it very important to point out that there are aspects about this that aren't being spoken about openly, either by people who can't afford to or people who can't legally.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
know,
now
but
we can kind of just bash on Platinum and really just say, what the fuck? 4K for Bayonetta? Really? Really?
I mean, look, I
Really?
mean, I like, I'm with Taylor on this one. Like, the the franchise itself has made $450 million. Whatever. That's way more than it probably took to actually make those games.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get. Absolutely.
And that's not even, like she said, that's not even including the merchandise. All right, off of Bayonetta.
I don't know how much Bayonetta merch sells. Maybe it's good. Maybe.
I mean, like figures alone.
I'm
alone.
not saying that. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm saying I don't know. Like I don't.
Yeah.
That's not my area of merch.
Yeah, but that's I've said this multiple times already. At least for video game voice actors specifically, all right, there should at least be a decent enough percentage of royalties come off of voicing when you're voicing most video games. I understand some video games come from like obviously indie companies or whatever. You can't.
Yeah, of course.
You can't always do that.
But that's fine because the union would have something for that. There's a difference between low budget and like standard. If you fall into AAA, if you fall into standard, all of your primary
or even double A games. Like double A games are
AA games is a weird thing that I don't think is covered yet. It's AA is still, all things considered, a new idea.
But I mean, like, because I don't view the Trail series as AAA games. All right.
Neither do I.
Yeah, that Valcom is for the amount of time that they've been on this planet, which is back in the 80s or whatever. They are still one of the most niche, fucking Japanese companies out there. I don't consider them indie, but I don't consider them AAA.
Yeah, and especially AAA because of who you have to compare them to. Mm-hmm. They're not Sony or Microsoft first parties. They're not Nintendo first parties. They're not Activision, which may become a Microsoft first party. They're not an EA. They're nothing like this. They're much smaller than that, but they're not like a super giant.
Yeah. I don't want to say AA because like I know how Falcom budgets their games or whatever, and they do budget their games. They do budget their games very well for Japanese seiyuu or whatever because they pay a lot of money for their Japanese seiyuu because they get the big name motherfuckers over there.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult though for some because they still have to do a lot of part-time work as well, or have multiple jobs.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect paradise for voice actors there either. They have their own problems. Like what's happening soon is they're going to change how tax works for voice actors as well, and there's been some thinking they'll have to quit because they won't be able to do it.
And here you go. An absolute perfect parallel to the US.
Yeah.
But at least in Japan, there's a lot more respect put on seiyuu over there.
Yeah, they're treated more like idols and stuff as well. Like some of them, not all of them, of course, but idols, celebrities, yes.
Voice actors in general are mainly treated like, or at least from the industry standpoint, treated like second-class citizens.
Well, they're treated like second-class actors.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you use that term because I use the term as well.
Yeah.
Because they're not on television, they're not on movies, they're not seen as the draw that they could be, despite anime cons existing, where
they make all their money.
No, exactly. Through whatever. When it comes to JP versus EU, I recognize that a lot of people think that the Japanese seiyus are just treated better and that they're just more naturally gifted, but it's also a difference in how they are trained.
Yeah.
On the whole, because this isn't going to be true of everyone in Japan, this isn't going to be true of everyone in America. On the whole, in Japan, as I understand it, seiyus are entertainers. They're not just voice actors. They're not just idols, they're entertainers, and they oftentimes do also show up on TV dramas.
Yeah.
They also do go out and do the ones that can sing go out and they do performances. They do live
Most of them are
performances.
trained to sing too. So
Not most yeah, but the girls.
I don't want to get too specific into
The
it.
girls, certain girls, yes.
Yeah.
In North America, I guess there's no way to say it, but just to be true, in North America, when voiceover became like a thing in the 80s, it happened before that. We have Looney Tunes and all of that, but when it became like more widely spread, for me, it was in the 80s when we started bringing in things, when we started importing television series from Japan, I think there was a chance at China, but that just kind of went down to movies and nothing else. We started bringing international media, and that's when it really opened up. And a lot of the older voice actors will tell you this, that they or someone they knew got their job because they were just picked up off the street.
Yeah.
Or because they hung around the studio and they happen to have a good voice. Hell, Troy Baker got a voice actor just because he was singing next door and he said, "Hey, can I be in this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people don't like Troy at the moment. That man is super talented.
Mm-hmm.
He is crazy good at his craft. But this is my point, is that a lot of them weren't trained specifically to get into
A lot of
all
them
of
just have
entertainment.
pure talent.
Exactly, a lot of them just have talent. Kira Buckland came from Newgrounds just because she wanted to voice act so damn much you couldn't go anywhere on Newgrounds and not hear her in it.
Yeah.
She didn't go to school for it, to my knowledge. I'm not saying she had to, but she just got pulled in because she was good at what she did.
Yeah.
But she's specialized. Our voice actors, so far as I'm aware, are all hyper specialized. And yes, a few of them also appear in television shows. My favorite actress in the whole goddamn world is Mary McGlynn. She could read me the phone book. She literally, to my knowledge, has mostly just done voice acting. She tried out for Xena. I think she was she ended up being an Amazon in the background because she didn't make it as Xena because Lucy Lawless is Lucy Lawless. And really, are you going to say no to that?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm trying to think of actors that don't fall into that. It's a very recent thing. There was Keith David. Keith David is the perfect example of what I think is a nice parallel to Japan. Keith David is a trained actor for stage and for screen. And then he also is an amazing voice actor. But that's not common.
No, and like the most
Bill Bayonetta.
Helena Taylor is also
She's also
trained.
very trained.
She's also
West
trained.
End. I don't remember specifically.
She said, she stated in where her training was in her videos.
Yeah,
she did like 4 years in the UK, and then she did 4 years in Lambda. And she came over to the US and trained like 3 years with somebody.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I skipped over Helena. She's so important to this story. But yeah, like Keith and Helena are very good, and it makes sense that they expect to be paid what they're worth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you even have like the Critical Role cast. Half of them did stage literally throughout their entire life.
Oh, yeah.
Sam sang and danced. I have no idea what Liam's background is.
Taliesin did the same. Taliesin got in because like his family is like literally connected to like big known Broadway people.
Ashley is a current actress who does way more acting on TV than she does for voiceover. Laura is a singer as well, though I think she started that because of the voice acting needed her to do it.
Yeah.
But she and Travis met doing work on television.
Funimation.
They first met
Oh
as
yeah.
as background for
Yeah.
TV, where they
Yeah.
had to mimic having conversations, and that became having conversations, and that became, hey, wait, you voice who on what? I want to be in that. And then
And
they're
then she
married.
ghosted him.
She did.
First, she didn't
for
like it,
5
right?
years.
Yeah.
It was a number of years before they
Then she was like, "You want to be a Full Metal Alchemist?" And you're like, "Oh, okay."
No, he did get into Dragon Ball Z first, and yeah, then they heard him and they were like, "Oh God, Travis Taliesingham? No, Travis Willingham is amazing. Let's have him be Roy." And then they're married now, and oh my goodness, they are so saccharine.
Mhm.
I love them, but yeah, even I think the one with the least amount of work in that regard is Marisha, and even she is a trained host.
Yeah.
So talking's still a job. So I mean, a lot of there's, I think there just needs to be more respect for NA talent. I think a lot of that actually does come from the subspeed dubs nonsense, but
Yeah.
no helping that. But I
It's
mean,
it's not normalized at a young age to go into that type of career path. Like stage kids are still seen as outcasts early on, even in school.
true. I mean, acting's one of those weird things. In America, the arts aren't taken as seriously.
Mhm.
We love art. We respect art. We don't always love and respect the artists,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Especially not if they're not proven.
Mhm.
God, I'm just gonna sit here and rant all night. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I love voiceover. I do. I love all the behind the scenes stuff. I love working on it. I love voicing stuff. But holy crap, does voiceover as an industry not love its actors?
No.
And this is to say nothing about like the time versus money versus outcome.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what if Platinum even comes out with a statement. Or if, SAG goes, okay, maybe we fucked up here.
Regardless to whether legally Platinum is in the right or not, SAG probably should say something.
Yeah.
Platinum absolutely needs to say something. Hellena probably needs to not say anything for a little while.
Oh no. She screwed up by breaking NDA, period. So
Yeah.
Because yeah, exactly. Best case scenario, she's still gonna get sued and probably lose the case for breaking that NDA because that's how it goes. But I commend her for being willing to take that hit to make the bigger picture, and I hope that the bigger picture is seen by people. I hope people don't get so stun locked on Platinum games they don't see the actual issue here.
yeah. And I mean, hey guys, if you don't mind your account being blocked by Kamiya, go tell him he's a fuckwad. And in English. In English.
I don't
Because he
endorse
hates
her.
people he hates people talking in English.
Don't get me wrong. I've always seen Kami as kind of pretentious in his own way, but I don't harass the guy. Don't do that. However, if you are vocally just going to be saying what your opinion is and you have to get banned, that's different.
Yeah.
But don't harass him.
Yeah, don't harass.
Don't harass. Yeah.
If you're in the mood of just sitting here going like, man, fuck, why don't voice actors get paid what they're supposed to get paid, and then you just hit @PG_Kamiya. I mean, whatever.
I mean,
that was a joke, man.
I mean, that's fair. Also, if you want to tag SAG-AFTRA in that, do so.
Oh yeah, true. Be like, SAG-AFTRA, what are you doing? Like, where's SAG-AFTRA's fucking statements?
Where's that at? Everyone needs to be held accountable. Like, the unions need to take better care of their actors. The actors need to stand up for themselves, though I understand why sometimes that's not tenable. And the companies need to not be willing to do what all high grossing companies do and look out for the bottom dollar. They need to be taking care of their talent, just like they take care of their devs, just like they take care of their stockholders.
Agreed. Also, normalize loyalties for video games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hell.
Even if it's like 2%, all right? Come on. That's still,
even
that's
if it's
still
for
money.
a limited time, right?
Yeah.
Like
first 5 years.
or
5 years of the game. First 5 years of the game. There you go.
Come on.
I could write contracts. Well, come on, go. Don't do that. I have no legal authority to do anything. Anyway, now that we've got that out of the way,
I'm sorry again.
what are we doing this week?
Whatever it takes to get my blood pressure back down.
I mean, do it. Yoda Selfu comes out on Wednesday, so that'll get your blood pressure down, I guess.
I don't like the double entendre there. I will be attempting to play more Valkyrie Elysium. I do need to finish that before next month. So that's my plan. What's probably going to end up happening is I'm probably going to get really busy this week and just end up playing Overwatch when I'm tagged and people ask me to play a couple rounds. Though I might give that JP server a try on Gundam Evolution.
Yeah, it's a good idea because it is so chill in comparison. No one talks. It's great.
No talking. So good. What are you doing, Lake?
Gundams, Marauders, Stardew Valley. What else? Small Log Horizon.
Good.
If I get nabbed for Overwatch with my friend, then that's like once a week so far. What else? Oh yeah! I don't know if anyone remembers Super People.
We do. You brought it up the last 2 weeks, so it's fresh in our mind.
Okay. Yeah, it's early access is out now, so if you want to try that for free on Steam.
Hey.
It's a Korean FPS battle royale type thing. You can be in a team or by yourself, and it's like very chic. If you want to run around shooting people and also be very fashionable, play that game.
Very chic.
Sounds like a good time.
Very chic. They're also doing tournaments too. Last time they had a cash prize, so get on that.
That's certainly one way to get attention.
Yeah, really. That's it.
Oh, right. Well, I don't think it's any surprise what I'll probably be doing this week. I'm going to be playing Kurano Kiseki 2.
Of course.
Man, I know, right? I'm so I'm the most consistent person ever, I guess. There's a Trails game, I'll play it. Whether I'll actually beat I did hear that there is possibly a anonymous team working on a translation of Kuro 2.
May they stay anonymous for their own sake.
Yeah, may they stay anonymous for their own sake and upload it to Reddit. So hopefully, I mean, it'll probably take about as long as Zerofield did it. So that'll be probably until fucking April, maybe. Maybe I'll forget about Kuro 2 by then. Trails to Azure is coming out March 14th, apparently. I still haven't played Zero English because I have yet to buy the PC version. So I probably won't play that for a while because in 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks is Star Ocean 6, and I am actually kind of pretty hyped about that.
I am hyped to hear you play it.
Yeah, I wanna craft broken weapons. So that's what you can do in Star Ocean games. Craft.
It seems like it's going to be particularly good this time around too.
Yeah, hopefully. And then God of War Ragnarok comes out like 2 weeks after that. So yeah,
I am ready to be dad of boy.
Dad of boy. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing this week. If you made it this far, please hit that subscribe button and like and all that jazz. I'm thinking about messaging Sean Chiplock to see if I can pay him to say please subscribe to Perpetual Backlog. So I get a voice clip of Reen saying that. But I don't know if he does that stuff, so who knows. But yeah, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely